Oh hey, welcome back. So I went thrifting again, and this time I found some original Xbox games. And that just so happened to be the catalyst for me buying the refurbished Xbox that I talked about in my last video. Now today I have 4 games that I'm going to take a look at, 3 of which I got while thrifting, and one of them I bought off of eBay immediately after getting my Xbox, because it's always sort of been on my wish list, but I sort of forgot about it for decades. So let's dive right in, shall we? Alright, so I'm sitting over here now. Now, the preview window can be a little bigger. I've learned from my last thrift video. First up, we have Bloodwake. What a game. So this was one of the launch titles for the Xbox, and I remember standing in Walmart, craning my neck so that I could play it on the screen. Why did they put the screens up so high? But I would stand there for about an hour and play that demo over and over and leave wondering why my neck hurt so bad. Now, this game, going back to it, I can see why it got the middling reviews that it did. It's not the most exciting, but in the year 2025, you can definitely see glimpses of genius in there. There is a very complicated water simulation going. All the ships have different guns and weapons, like you get machine guns, you get rockets, you get all kinds of things. And the maps are huge, and like it really does look great. The ship itself has all these like moving parts on it and whatnot. It really had a lot going on. A naval combat video game released in 2001 for the Xbox as part of Microsoft's wave of launch titles. It was developed by Stormfront Studios and published by Microsoft Game Studios. The initial development began following the creation of the basic game engine by lead programmer Ralph Knosel, following the completion of Stormfront's previous release, Hot Wheels Turbo Racing. Together with lead artists Tim Dean and Matt Small, they conceived a concept that was essentially twisted metal on water. Now they went around and shopped that idea, and Microsoft decided that they could use an original IP that was likened to Crimson Skies on water. Now, when I saw that game in the case, I kind of immediately gravitated towards it because in my mind, I remember playing so much of it in the store, my neck craned and all. But getting it home and sitting with it and playing it for a bit, it's not the most exciting game. I can see where they're coming from, where it's supposed to be Crimson Skies on the water, but it has a lot less of the excitement and flair that Crimson Skies has, so it's kind of, you know, dead in the water. Anyway, that's enough about Bloodwake. Let's move on to the next one. Also thrifted, I found the original Forza Motorsport. Now, I thought this was a cool find. I've only played more recent ones, I think 6 and 7 for the Xbox One. I never played the newest one. They're very pretty games, but one thing that I thought was really nice with this one is it's a very like straightforward racer. It's got a clean look. There's a good sense of speed and competition with the other racers. The only funny thing I thought was the car selection that they give you at the start is kind of laughable. Like, even in the footage you're about to see, I am playing in a PT Cruiser because I just thought it was funny, but the other cars are not much more exciting. So I do wonder how much more you have to play until you start getting like actual like sports cars and stuff. It reminds me of those early Gran Turismos where like you would just have these like hatchbacks and sedans, and you'd kind of have to go up the leaderboard with those. And I'm sure that's almost what they're going for because it's the first Forza Motorsport. I'm sure it was like on their mind to sort of mimic the simulation, work your way from the bottom to the top that Gran Turismo had already become known as. Forza Motorsport was released on May 3rd, 2005. It is the only title in the series to be released on the original Xbox console. Apparently it features 231 cars and racetracks from 15 real-world and fictional locations. So yeah, beyond some of the newer titles, I actually don't have a lot of experience with the Forza Motorsport series. I'm more of a Forza Horizon kind of guy. I've enjoyed all 5 of those games so far. The Motorsport games are just a little too, I don't know, bread and butter plain. There's not a ton going on there. And it doesn't even have that sort of like authentic vibe that like the Gran Turismo series has. Like Gran Turismo, they really put themselves in a place where they make this simulation. You know, there's always this hard and fast style of menus, but it all has like a certain charm to it. And I really felt like that was lacking with this game. Not even the soundtrack by Junkie XL could help this one. But the racing is solid. You know, like I sat there and I did about 5 or 6 races right when I got this game, and it was enjoyable. Like it's a very like clean racer. You know, like the handling is good, the cars feel heavy, which is what you want. It's pretty good. It's just nothing special. Anyway, enough of Forza Motorsport. All right, this is another one where I saw it and I was just like, I gotta give that one a try. I mean, I've played the originals. I've never seen this one though. Drive 3 or Driver 3. This one I've never played. I played 1 and 2 on the original PlayStation, but I had never seen 3. And then I also played Driver San Francisco on the PC way back when, and I remember enjoying that one. Now, popping this in, I was like, okay, you know, a GTA-like in the Xbox PlayStation 2 era, this can't be too bad. But let me tell you, the walking around and shooting is so stiff that it feels like a shovelware game. There's no reaction to you shooting people. You know, you can roll around on the ground for some reason. It's just all very bizarre. But then the driving is awesome. The cars are super weighty. You get to just drift them around. And honestly, there's a good sense of speed and the city is fun to drive around. But for some reason, they just slipped in all these really awful third-person action moments that really drag the rest of the game down. And while I can see what they're going for with the cutscenes and stuff, like they have all these like stylistic transitions and whatnot and some fun filters, but the story and the dialogue and the voice acting is so stupid and not even like fun in a bad way. I mean, like Murakumo, that was hilarious. This is like, I'm just rolling my eyes. It's so dumb and it's so long, and you know, good for them for, you know, rendering all these cool cutscenes and whatever, but they're so fucking boring. Oh yeah. So I played maybe like a half an hour of this one and it got old pretty fast. All right, Driver 3, stylized as Drive 3-er, is a 2004 action-adventure game. It was developed by Reflections Interactive, published by Atari, and released on PlayStation 2, Xbox, and mobile phones. I have to assume those are some 2D cut-down games on the mobile phone. There's even a Game Boy Advance game, so who knows? It was also released on Windows. Driver 3 was a much hyped and anticipated title, and although the game was a commercial success, it received mixed reviews upon release, with some critics accusing Atari of rushing the game's release to avoid competing with Grand Theft Auto San Andreas later that year, which is like a masterpiece of a game. So I mean, they should have just let this one cook and put it out after GTA. It could have been something. Like, there's something here, but it really does almost feel like a beta for the game. What are you gonna do? I mean, it says take the wheel. I did. Official Xbox magazine. Solid. That's all they decided to put on the box. All right, enough of Drive 3-er. Now the game that I have been eagerly waiting to play again, because I remember seeing bits and pieces of it in Electronic Gaming Monthly. I'm sure I saw video of it while at a Funko Land. I don't know if I ever got to get my hands on it, but when I got this new Xbox, something triggered in my mind a memory of this game, and I knew I had to have it and play it. And we're talking about Crazy Taxi 3 High Roller. Now, I love the Crazy Taxi series. It is so much fun. It's so crazy. I love the music. I love you're just bouncing around in this taxi. It's nutso butso. Now, I've played the first one. I've never played the second one, but the third one always intrigued me because the idea of it happening in Vegas with all the lights and the neon just seemed awesome, right? And this game does not disappoint. It is very cool. They go hard on the neon. You have the swirling light effect that GTA 3 made famous famous, and you know, the speed is there, you're just zooming around. And one thing I didn't know about Crazy Taxi 3 is it also includes the maps and characters for the first and second game. So you get to do the West Coast, you get to do the Small Apple. So this game, I gotta say, I'm saving it for last because it's also my most anticipated, but also I easily had the most fun with it. It is a great time. Crazy Taxi 3 High Roller is a 2002 racing video game. It was originally released for the Xbox, followed by an arcade release under the title Crazy Taxi High Roller for the Sega Chihiro game board, and then a Microsoft Windows release. It expands on the previous two games with additional locations, taxis, and other features. Now, I had no idea that this was also released on Windows. I'm gonna have to see if I can find that version, because the only downside of this game on the Xbox is it does not run very well. I had a lot of issues with slowdown, and it seemed like it was when NPC cars were hitting each other is when it would slow down. Also when lots and lots of lights were on screen, which happens a lot when you're in Las Vegas, you know? I mean, that's just how that goes. But yeah, this one's a lot of fun. You know, I feel like they really got the energy and the artistic direction of the other two Crazy Taxis down perfectly. And it's just a blast to play. It's so much fun. So yeah, that's Crazy Taxi 3 High Roller. Such a fun game. All right, I'm back in the middle of the camera, which means one thing. We've come to the end of this video. Thank you for coming along and taking a look at my thrift store finds and my eBay pickup. And let me know what you remember about the Xbox down below. It's kind of a bizarre console in that it definitely came out. A lot of people definitely played it, but it's definitely a strange memory, a foggy, hazy memory. I don't know. Maybe that's just me, but I just think it's like kind of a weird blind spot in gaming history is literally the original Xbox. There's a lot of games on there that I just want to check out, so I think I will in the future. Again, thank you for coming along for the ride. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye. What do you think of my new lights? Let me know in the comments if I'm looking crazy or if it looks good. See ya.